Welcome to one of the hidden gems of Southern Europe. In this video, I'm going to show you how to travel Kotor and Budva and find all the best hidden gems. Starting off the day now, it's a bit later than I normally would have. It's about 9:30, but that's because last night my bus came in so late. We were stuck about 2.5 hours at the border just because the driver forgot some papers. And we got in around like 1:30. Walking through Budva so far, and I can notice that there's a lot of construction being done, especially on their main beachfront road. A very similar city that it looks like is Monaco, like the amount of casinos here and just like how the city looks. It's actually very similar to Monaco. There's also a lot of yachts parked up here as well. So first thing I did, I went up to the Cittadella. It's €5 for the access, and you basically get to go to the top of the walls here in the old town, so it's pretty nice. There's also access to old town walls, which are €2. This is different, but let's check it out. This is probably the spot with some of the nicest views in the city. You can see Sveti Nikola Island. You can also see just all the houses in the old town, and then you get to see the new town of Budva. This is like the highest point you can go in the old town. It's actually really stunning views up here. This citadel is actually the main military fort for Budva, and it has been occupied by a lot of people dating back to 5th century BC when the Greeks had it. And then there was also the Romans, the Byzantines, the Bulgarians, the Austro-Hungarians, and then it was part of former Yugoslavia, and now it's a part of Montenegro. It's actually a really beautiful old town, and it's not as busy as I thought it would be. Most of the houses are built between the 1400 and the 1800s, so really beautiful. There's no car traffic in there, just foot traffic, and definitely cool to check out. There's no entry fee to get into the old town either. Starting the day off, I got myself a classic Montenegrin breakfast, which is just a palacinke. I got it with Euro cream. They're about €3 everywhere you go. Honestly, not the best idea to have that in the morning. It was actually so big, just packed with sugar. I wouldn't recommend it. Split it with 2 people, or don't have it first thing in the morning. But overall, it was actually good. The Euro cream is actually pretty good in them, and I would probably say this is an A tier. So I walked around the whole city already. There's not really much to do other than the old town, so I decided to get a kayak, and now just riding on the kayak. It was €30 for the day. Rest of the day just gonna be on this kayak, gonna check out some of the islands. Just have fun here. The water looks really nice, and Budva also looks really nice from the boat. This island actually looks so insane. It looks like a tipped over island the way that the rocks are formed. Looks really cool when you see it up close. So I just went to Sveti Nikola Island, which is known as Hawaii Island. It's just a beautiful spot to just swim. I swam for about an hour, and just the views from there are really nice. So it's a great spot as just a stop on the kayak. Next spot I stopped at was the Blue Caves. It's just a nice little spot. You can just see some really nice looking caves and kayak around, check them out, swim if you want. And then I saw this little private beach, so I decided to take a look. No one's here, it's just me. And it's just a nice spot I'm gonna sit at for a bit, just chill, go for a swim, and enjoy. It was a really fun time just chilling on the beach, swam a little bit, just sat a little bit and chilled. Now it's time to head back. It's been about 4 hours, so the last hour just gonna head back to drop off the kayak. Honestly, kayaking was a really fun experience, especially if you're coming solo. You get to see a lot of the beaches, and just it's a lot of fun, so I definitely recommend getting it. And if you're getting it, I didn't catch his name, but the guy looks like an Ivan, so find Ivan and get your kayak from there. I went to the famous restaurant here called Jadran. I ordered some black risotto and some mussels, and when they brought the mussels on the table, So just a massive portion, and this was only 15 euros for all these mussels. And the black risotto was 12. The black risotto comes with some seafood inside it, and it's like shrimps, mussels, and all that. Tastes very good. On a beautiful date, but Katya's not here on the other side. Really good meal. tasted really good. I would say the black risotto was A tier and also the mussels were A tier. They're both really good and I recommend this restaurant, but it is on the pricey side. Woke up around 5 a.m. taking the first bus to Kotor, hoping that I get there before the crowds. Budva was a nice city though. It's like a mix of a mini Dubrovnik with the old town and then Monaco for the rest of it. So it's definitely a pretty cool spot to check out. It's crazy, it's just 7 a.m. here and there's nobody in the streets of Old Town. It's crazy to even be here when there's no one. I know it's gonna get so busy later. First things first, I'm gonna do the ladder of Kotor hike. Best thing here is just to get those amazing views of the bay. The hike itself is pretty simple. It's just a consistent gradual uphill. Just keep going back and forth in zigzags. And I'm pretty sure you can just go up as long as you want. There's already some views as you can see behind me, but you can go up even higher. The first thing I'm gonna stop at is the castle and then we'll see from there. The main hike up to the castle is actually 8 euros, but if you do just take the ladder of Kotor hike, you can get there as well. When you hit this spot right here, this is when you take the hike up here to get to the fortress. Really cool views actually from the top. So this is Sveti Ivan's castle, St. John's castle. You just get like stunning views of the bay and you also get to see the old fort. Also I hear if you come before the ticket gate opens, which is at 7 a.m, you can get in for free. And then there's a little exit or kind of the entrance I took that takes you from the ladder of Kotor hike where you just kind of have to like lift yourself up to get to the top, but you don't have to pay the 8 euros. There's also people around so they can help you get up or get down and we just all helped each other. But you can probably do it yourself if you trust your arm strength. Really crazy bridge, so shaky. Right after getting out though, it's actually kind of scary. There's so many goats just right beside me and one of them just kept following me the whole time. When I stopped, he stopped and he was eyeing me the whole time, so it's actually kind of scary. Don't mess with the goats. Now I'm trapped. I'm literally just trying to leave, but these goats keep coming and I don't know what to do. This one just keeps standing there looking at me. My way out is there. After like 10 minutes, I just decided enough was enough. So I went for it and the goats actually just moved out of the way. It was nice. Not as bad as I thought. You can see the people there all doing the same thing in the distance, climbing up and down. I'm now just gonna continue going up that hike that I started and see just how high I can get if the views get nicer from here. Just made it to the top and it's absolutely stunning views from up here. The bay looks incredible and it's just definitely worth the hike going all the way up after hitting the fortress. Just beautiful views. This one's for Katya because she would pet every cat as we would walk by. Finally made it down. It takes about an hour, maybe an hour and a half to get up and then the same to get back down, but it's a really nice hike. I definitely recommend doing it when you're here. Now I'm going to do something I probably wouldn't normally do, but I miss Katya, so I'm gonna go do it. Just went to the Cats Museum, not much to see there. It was only cool because they donate their proceeds to feeding the cats on the streets. So other than that, it's a very small museum. The spot I'm going to eat at is also a recommendation. Apparently they have really good meat. I'm going to a place called BBQ Tanja. The portions there are actually really big. When he brought out that plate, I wasn't expecting it to be so big. And that cost 14 euros. They had some cevapi on there, some chicken, and this pork sausage with fries and a salad. The old town is actually much busier now than it was in the morning, so it's definitely worth coming in the morning and then also just do that hike right away before it gets really hot. It's been such a hot day today, so if you're coming June, July, August, September, those months are gonna be over 30 basically all the time. You're gonna have some off days. Definitely worth getting the hike done and walking around the old town in the morning. But that's it for my time in Kotor. I'm going more north now again to Dubrovnik, so stay tuned for that one. Please like and subscribe because it really helps me out, and I'll see you again in the next one.